that. Are they going to hit me with the bird? The double bird variation? Okay. I did that when I played white against them last time. Okay. Let's go with knight f6 or d5. Oh, let's try knight f6 again. Okay. Well, let's try this. Well, we have what? London. London system. Let's take here. Now what? Establish a pawn in the center. Get your knight to c6. Get castled. Get your light square bishop out. Doing something exciting. Let's get knight out here first. That way I don't have to deal with maybe any issue about the knight coming here. Now that is a bit weird. I guess it's ready to come into this c5 square. What can you do? Well, since there isn't, what's the difference between knight d2 and knight c3? I'm trying to find the differences between those two moves. Well, the knight from c3 puts pressure on the pawn, the knight on d2 does not. So what does all that mean? It means that maybe I could be running with an f6 e5 move, or in other words, I could like bring my knight somewhere else and try and get this move in with tempo a bit easier. Maybe. What about knight here? I think there's something to it. I'm going to try that. Let's see. I'm going in reverse, but hopefully for a good reason. Something that I could really rely upon here. I have a lot of I'll have a lot of pieces focused on this square soon enough, and it's not without weakening my position. Keep in mind. As soon as I do this, maybe there's this pawn push. Let's go for it. I think I might still play e5 even if e4 is played. If I'm able to establish, this is already a highly critical position. Okay, so I'm not having to deal with some serious calculations right there. So I did f6 for a reason. Let's get it in. Follow through. Swing that bat. Now this knight is going to be kicked away, or is he? So I could consider this, and the knight needs to find a new home. This bishop is going to be a beast still. But I think the space advantage is a good thing, so I'm going to do it. And then follow up with f5, and then maybe this. I think that's a good idea, actually, because I am threatening to get in f4 because of tactical possibilities on knight takes here. If pawn push, bishop takes, I have knight takes d4. And I think I do that right now, and if I get that in, I think I stand better, and I think I'm now going to stand better. Bishop takes, I could consider actually sacking the rook and then taking here, or just keeping the material balanced and taking here right away. I'll want to be cautious about the following. If I go for this knight takes d, this pawn is going to be a bit more accessible. In fact, there might be knight takes d, knight b3, and if knight takes knight, an in-between move of queen takes pawn with check and only then recapturing on b3. Right here being one of those possibilities. So if knight here and knight to b3, I think I need to be taking the light square bishop. So let me do that right now. Knight takes d4. I'm also on the rook. Oh, wait a second. I'm on the rook too. So this, I'm pretty sure this is turning out to now be a success. I think it's very clear right now why it should be seen as a success for black. This knight is on the edge of the board, and the position has been blown open here. I have a half-open file. these knights don't have great squares right now. And I'm winning the exchange right here. Actually, no. Well, I'm winning material because I could just take the bishop and then the rook. That's a big problem there. So now I'm actually, yeah, I'm up a full minor piece. That's the end result of this sequence. That's it. How to recapture? I want my light square bishop to play. So let's get my knight over here. I don't care about going in reverse with my knight. My main focus is get my bishop out so I can get my rook out, and that's it. Now what? What's the scoop? And I closed out. I see. Okay, here we go. Okay, closed out of a window here that I usually have open. Okay, bishop, just come all the way back. Stick around here. Stay developed. And I really do just want to do what? I'm going to do this. 2 reasons. 1, eventually box out the knight once it occupies the square. And 2, if pressure is placed on this right now, I could play here and at least get rid of one of these guys. In summary, I'm okay with exchanges. More specifically, I'm okay with giving up my light square bishop for either one of those knights. Just want to get rid of one of them. And let's go for this right now. It's a good spot for my bishop. I have this square watched over. I'm going to play rook to c8, rook to c4. These squares right here have my attention. They're good outposts for pieces, for rooks in this case, or maybe even bishops or knights. If I get a knight right here, great opportunities, great posts, support points. Yeah, you could do this in your these ideas that I'm sharing right here. They may seem really basic, but their applications are good. They hold in longer games. Right here, a quick scan that I would be doing right here. Okay, first things first, let's get on the only open file and throw the knight in a pin. A quick scan I would be doing is running as follows. I'd look to see which one of my pawns is furthest advanced, and then I'll look into seeing which squares it's controlling. It's controlling, this is the furthest advanced. What is it controlling? F3, E3. So what does that mean? Well, of these two, which is weaker? Well, this one. Okay, so this has my attention. How can I get a knight there? It's probably very good. How can we do that? Well, actually, how can we keep my opponent in a pickle is my more direct question right here. How can you do that? You can do that by playing queen here. I guess I set myself up for some tricks. But let's do it anyhow, because the tricks that I think my opponent would have at least result in material being exchanged. I think knight here is available, and if I take, there's queen takes, and then the bishop gets picked off. But I want to maintain this pin. That's why I did this move. I guess the rook can leave, and if I take the knight with my bishop, the rook can come back over. But actually, that's not working because I could take this, and I think this is now turning out to just be the winning. Well, it's already winning, but I'm winning more material now. More pieces are falling. I have 3 pieces on the knight, and there's only 2 pieces around to defend. And I think I just sidestep 1 check, and then everything is quite alright. This is a good way to do it. Just defend and welcome more exchanges. So, I can't move my bishop just yet. But now, I'm staying on this diagonal, stopping tricky stuff. And now finally I can get my knight working. Actually, let me just do this so the queen doesn't get doing anything great. And now finally, let's get this knight doing something. Now that my opponent is backed up, there is time for these maneuvers. Let's just take and come over here with my rook maybe. No time. No time. Right? Queens are off. No material left. Anything. Just move. Just move quick. Okay. Good game. Let's back up. Back up to where? Back up to what position? Let me flip the board and look at things from your perspective. So this is actually a setup that I have gone with on the white end. I think more often than any other setup in chess. This right here, the London. Now, what can you be doing different? I would really consider this, right? Well, this right here has my attention because why not go to c3? What's holding the knight c3 move? You know, why not knight c3 instead of d2? I was saying during the game knight d2 is allowing for knight b3 and then eyeing the c5 square, but you can also get to it by way of a4. So I think knight c3 is the move there. And maybe in response to f6, you should be considering e4. I think things get really wild. But look into this e4 move. I've had this played against me. That's why I was going against it. And from what I recall, it actually turned out to be very, very good for black. And in this game, it turned out to be working. I think, again, one of the reasons for this is because of the knight's placement to be on d2 and c3. And it's because I was able to find differences between the two moves. And for those of you here watching and you're encountering games where you're booked up, let's say, with a particular variation, and then all of a sudden you see something different. Right there, what you're needing to do is what? You're needing to start to look into the two different find the differences between the two moves, and then maybe run with a particular plan against it. Like I was saying here, the knight c3 move, what is it doing? It's putting pressure on d5. I'm probably going to need to keep support for that point. But with the knight on d2, there's no pressure on d5, so now this is allowing for me to not only throw my knight backwards and obstruct my queen's view. Actually, let me state it like this. It's not only allowing for my knight to play backwards, release control over d5, and mask my queen's defense of the d5 square. Well, I lost my train of thought right there. It's allowing for new possibilities, having your knight on d2 opposed to c3. How's that for a quick bailout right there? That is the short summary. I guess keeping it simple is best right there. Consider knight c3. You really have to have a good reason to go to d2 instead of d3. Okay. All right. Let's that's the main point, because as soon as I get this break in, there's no way that white could be standing better with this tactic. Just not seeing it. Well, now it's the loss of material, significant amount. So I don't know what the best continuation is here. Seems like I'll be getting the light square bishop at minimum or the dark square bishop. In both cases, things are good. I have a space advantage, so I think make me think twice about running with this f6 and e5 idea. Play knight c3, the more natural of the two squares.